All right, students, I'm going to show you guys just a quick video on how to thread a needle or put your yarn into a needle. We have some plastic needles. When we are getting good with this, I will introduce some metal needles that might be a little bit more pointy or do some different types of work for us. So I've got some yarn. I always have a difficult time. I'm going to show you guys 2 or 3 tricks, but I always have a hard time taking the yarn and putting it into the needle. It never, or 10 times it takes me to get it to go in there. It just doesn't want to go. So what I have learned is to pinch the end of the yarn and then take my needle's eye, or the hole in the needle, and I'm going to open my fingers as I wiggle the needle on, and then I can just grab that yarn and pull it through, okay? Some people will want to tie a knot right here to hold the yarn onto the needle. That is not necessary, but sometimes if your yarn keeps slipping out of the needle, you might want to just a loose knot, okay? Just one tie, like you tie your shoes crisscross, okay? But not in a bow. All right, so that's how to get it into the needle. But let's just say that's not working for you. Maybe sometimes the end of this yarn gets really frayed, and then part of it will go through the needle and part of it doesn't. Let me show you what that looks like. So part of this is going through the needle, but then part of it is not going through the needle. Sometimes it'll still pull through, and that's great if it does. Other times it splits it even more. What I like to do is just trim that little bit off and get rid of it in the table trash can, and then try it again, okay? If for some reason that is not working, you can use a needle threader. So this is a needle threader that I made. It kind of looks like the little threaders that are made for actual thread, but I made a bigger one, okay? So you're just gonna, since this is a bigger hole, it's a whole lot easier to stick the yarn through the hole, and then I'm just gonna take that yarn, or that needle threader, and I'm gonna poke it through the eye of the needle. And you can squeeze it so it's a little smaller and will fit, and then I just take that over that part that is kind of wiry. That will bring the yarn through. I'm going to pull the yarn out, and then, so it's through the needle and through the threader. I'm going to pull my needle out. I'm going to hold the yarn and then pull my needle off. So I did that wrong. Let me try that again. Bad demonstration. Okay, you're going to put the yarn in the threader. Okay, so if it takes you a couple times, it's okay. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it onto the threader, squeezing it so it goes in. I'm going to grab the yarn with the needle. Okay, I'm grabbing the yarn and I'm pulling the short end through the needle. Okay, then I'm going to grab both the yarn and the needle and I'm going to pull it off the threader. One part is still in the threader. So I'm going to do this slow motion. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pinch my needle in the thread, and I'm going to pull off the yarn off of the threader. Okay? Remember, the threaders hang on the top of the cabinet of the fiber center. Okay? Enjoy. Let me know if you need some help. We're going to practice that before you start weaving.